What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, before I get to what I'm going to be talking about in this episode of Joe Winko Talk, I just want to announce that today is a very special day because today is my birthday, December 5th, proud Sagittarius, as I say in all my episodes, all my birthday episodes of Joe Winko Talk. And you guys may be wondering, oh, Joe Winko, how old are you turning this year? And the truth is, it is none of your goddamn business, so do not ever ask me that question. So yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. This is my birthday episode of Joe Winko Talk. And speaking of that, this episode of Joe Winko Talk is going to be a bit personal, and it's going to be a bit negative too. Not nearly as negative as my last episode, but it is going to be a bit negative, really. And it's also going to cover some adult-themed stuff, so if you guys are under 18, I prefer for you guys not to watch this video, but I'm not going to go too in-depth on it, really. So this was something that I actually found on Reddit, and I honestly have no idea exactly how I stumbled upon this on Reddit, but that's where I found it. It was a face analyzer, like a pretty scale face analyzer. Basically what it is it uses your camera and it takes your picture and it analyzes your facial features and it gives you a percentage score on how handsome or pretty you are. And it's actually a website that anyone can go on. I'll have the link to it in the pinned comments. But I just want to read this really quick. It says right here, warning, the results of this test can be unexpected and unreliable. If you have low self-esteem and confidence issues, please do not take the test. So I just really needed to throw that out there. So if you get like upset about stuff like this easily, I wouldn't recommend you use it. But as you guys all know, I definitely do not have low self-esteem. So I decided to try it out anyway to see how handsome I was. And long story short, it came back with a 72% for me. And you know, when I first saw that, it kinda hurt, really, seeing a 72%. Now, some of you guys may think that that percentage is pretty high, but because of my autism mind, it made me think back to one thing. I remember back when I was in 5th grade, I had transferred to a new school, and my adoptive mom was like really controlling. I mean, she still kind of is controlling and like demanding and shit like that. She got upset with me because at my new school, the science class was a bit complicated. We didn't have a science book that we took home or anything like that. It was all just hands-on learning and stuff like that. I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, but that's the best that me and my autistic mind can come up with. I got a C minus in my science class, and she like flipped out. She says, "Oh hell no, no C minus," and she got all mad. She went and talked to my science teacher because she was all mad about that. And I was just so annoyed with her and all of her shit, really. I mean, looking back on it, it pisses me off even more than it did back then. But a 72%, that's about what a C minus is. And I was just like, damn, I'm just a C minus when it comes to looks. That kind of hit home when I saw that. But you know, I kept thinking of it over and over again, and eventually it made sense to me, and this is where the adult X-rated stuff comes in. 72% handsome, and I thought about that, and I thought, yeah, that seems about right, because everyone wants to be 100%, but it made sense to me. It made me think of how I'm on so many different dating sites, Grindr, Hornet, OkCupid, Tinder, Facebook dating, And on every single one of those sites, I always, whenever I log on to Grindr, I always find a random guy who wants to hook up with me and suck me off and who wants to ditch me right afterwards. Because that's basically what they all do, really. I mean, the ones I've encountered so far, that's basically exactly what they all do. That's exactly what their motives are, really. So I'm handsome enough to attract a bunch of random and possibly disease-ridden guys who try to hook up with me. I'm very selective on who I have sexual contact with nowadays, and I get tested regularly in case you guys are wondering. My results always come back clear, mainly because I'm so selective on that. But I'm attractive enough to attract a bunch of whores who want to hook up with me. However, I'm not attractive enough to attract one guy who wants to be my lover and partner and who wants to stay with me. And when I saw that 72% handsome score, it made perfect sense to me then, because it falls in line with what I just mentioned earlier. Handsome enough for a bunch of whores who want to hook up with me, but not handsome enough to find my one lover and partner to be with. And in all honesty, it's really sad. But to be completely honest with you, basically how that face analyzer thing works is it has you like draw out the shape of your face. You take a picture of your face, then you draw one line to the side of your eye, and then you drag the other line to the other side of your eye, and you drag one of these lines to where your lips are. It's kind of difficult to explain, but you guys just have to take it for yourself to see what I mean by that. And I'm guessing that it's just like it calculates the measurements of your face in coordinates to what a handsome face measurements would be, really. That's my best way of describing it. And the thing is, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's what I always known, and that's what I always believed in. Ever since I was in elementary school, they showed us this episode of The Twilight Zone where this woman had a bunch of bandages on her face and these nurses were taking care of her. It was like this really old school episode of The Twilight Zone, and you couldn't see any of their faces at all. And she was talking about how hideous she was, and she said that when she was a little kid, a girl once looked at her and started screaming because she was so ugly. And they were doing an operation on her to try to fix her face to make her look beautiful. And I remember I was so curious to what she looked like. And then they finally took the bandages off of her, and then it was this beautiful blonde woman. And I thought, oh, she's really pretty. I'm glad they have her looking pretty again. Then all of a sudden I heard a voice that said, there's no change, she's still hideous. And I was like, what? How the hell is she hideous? And then she started screaming, and then all these people surrounded her, and then you finally saw all the nurses' faces, and they looked hideous. They all looked like pigs. And I was like, what? They're all saying that she's ugly? They're the ones that look ugly because they all look like pigs. And it was really chilling, honestly. But that's the whole thing. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, really. Like, there's probably one guy who thinks I'm really ugly, and then another guy who thinks I'm really handsome, and one guy who thinks I'm in between. That's how I think of it, really. But I really don't want to be liked because of my looks. I really want someone to like me because of the crazy stuff that goes on in my mind, and because of the stuff I'm obsessed with, and for my imagination and other stuff like that. That's really what I want to be liked for. But if he thinks I'm handsome too, then even better, really. But that's honestly what I want to be liked for. But it still does make sense, the 72% handsome, C minus on a grading scale. I mean, I wouldn't give myself a C minus in looks. I would say that I'm more of a B or a B plus, but not a C minus, not a 72%. I mean, because I know it's greater than 50%, but like that's what I think of when I think of 72%, that's not a really high score. Because if you got a 72% on a test, like you barely passed the test, that's what the score would be. That would be like a C or a D. But then I thought of it again, and I thought, what if there was a huge bridge that you had to walk across, and everyone was telling you that there's a 72% chance that that bridge will collapse when you start walking on it? Would you still walk across it? And I thought about that, and I thought, I'm pretty sure most people would not walk across that bridge at all if there was a 72% chance of it collapsing if you walked on it. So yeah, that's a good way of thinking of it. But anyhow, let me analyze like some of these results or read to you some of these results. So it said that I have prominent features, and it says that I have a good face shape, but it also said that I have a large forehead, and I thought that was a bit weird. I never really thought my forehead was very large. I mean, you probably don't notice it when I'm wearing the red pointy bandana, but it's probably a good thing that I wear that if this thing really thinks my forehead is large. My forehead definitely did look larger because I just buzzed off all my hair earlier, and when I do that, my forehead always looks bigger. But it's probably a good thing that I wear the bandana, really, because you don't see how big my forehead is, or do you? I'll let you guys be the judge of that in the comments. And it says that I have a big interocular distance. Basically what that is, that's basically like the distance between my eyes. I never really thought my eyes were too far apart, really. But I do think that my eyes are too small. I wish my eyes were larger and more vibrant, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely do think they're vibrant, but not as vibrant as I wish they were, really. I also wish that they were a brighter shade of green, but you work with what God gives you. But I definitely do wish my eyes were larger, honestly. That would look really cool, and yeah, I would really like that, honestly. It also said that my nose is too wide for my face, and that one kind of hit hard too. I mean, I'm not really sure if my nose is actually, well, sometimes it depends on what mood I'm in. Sometimes I do think my nose is too wide, but a lot of times what I really would want to do is like to close my nose a little bit and then drag it down to make it a bit longer. I also wish that my cheeks were narrower and that my face was more chiseled. And in some of my pictures that I take, my face does look narrow and chiseled, but a lot of times it doesn't look narrow and chiseled, and I just wish my face would look narrow and chiseled all the time, because that'd be really nice. It also says that I have a normal mouth size, and it says that my chin is too small, which kinda shocked me a tad bit because I never, like in a lot of my pictures that I take, I never post them at all because my chin looks too large in them, and it depends on the way I position the camera in the pictures. Like I remember this one picture I took of myself when I was in Ohio a long time ago. I didn't post that picture because my chin looked too large in it because there was a certain way I was smiling in the picture. I sometimes have a habit of smiling like this, like that, and when I do that, my mouth gets really close to my nose and it makes my chin look big. And yeah, I always thought that my chin was too large, really. I never thought that my chin was too small. That was interesting hearing that, really. It also told me that I have poor face symmetry. I guess that means that your face is like the same on each side if you flip it. But I remember reading somewhere that if someone had a perfectly symmetrical, I'm not even sure if that's a correct word, but I remember reading somewhere that if someone had a perfectly symmetrical face, that they that it wouldn't look so well, that it would look really weird if someone had a face that was perfectly symmetrical. I think that's the word I'm looking for, symmetrical. And it said I was 72% good looking. So I guess that does kind of fall in line with someone who's able to attract a bunch of whores who just want to hook up with them, hot enough to attract a bunch of whores who just want to hook up with them, but not handsome enough to attract one person who wants to stay with them. And it's sad, really, but it is true. But as I said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I just finished doing a love spell a couple weeks ago of me trying to attract a lover and partner who would want to be with me forever. And hopefully someone who doesn't just like me for my looks, because that would be downright depressing if someone only liked me just because of my looks, really. I mean, because there's so much more to me besides that. I mean, God. But seriously, I mean, so what do you guys think of what I just talked about in this episode? And if you guys want to make me feel better, what you could do is you could get me a present off my Amazon wish list since today is my birthday. I'll have a link to it in the pinned comments also. Yeah, I would really appreciate it if you guys did. And I would do a thank you video if you guys did also. I would really love that if you guys did, seriously. So, since it's my birthday, I guess it's time to do one more thing. Time to get a cake and time to blow out the candles with it. Okay, so you will not believe how difficult it was for me to get the proper camera view for this. Um, so this is the cake that I have. This was the one that I got. It's red velvet, and I absolutely love red velvet cake. That is my favorite flavor of cake. I literally love red velvet. If my future lover and partner is watching this video, which I hope that he is, if you get me a red velvet cake for my birthday every single year, I will literally love you forever. And if you suck me off good, I definitely will. Told you this was an 18 plus episode. Alright, 1 second. So I'm just cleaning off this fork right now. Still scared about that COVID stuff, even though it's been going on for that long. And let me get a candle. Not going to be using a number candle because it's none of your damn business how old I am. I'm over 18. That's all you guys need to know. Let me use a pink one. Ah, perfect. Alright, so let me look online for some thing that can... Alright, happy birthday singing. Some virtual voice that can sing me happy birthday. Oh, singing candles. Let me turn on the sound.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
They sound like One Direction.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Oh, I think I was supposed to... Yeah, I was supposed to light the candle before I played that. Okay, we can do that again.
Happy birthday to you. to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
They do sound like One Direction. All right, let me blow it out. Okay. Another lonely birthday. Yeah, whatever. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of Joe Winko Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching it. And yeah, please get me something off of my Amazon wish list. I'd really appreciate it if you guys did. And also, I'm going to be doing a gaming live stream today to celebrate my birthday. I was thinking of playing the original Sims 1 since it's been a long time since I played it. So yeah, please make sure to watch it and please make sure to attend. I'll also have my Discord server open so you guys can talk to me while I'm doing my gaming live stream. I usually don't use that very often because it sometimes gets overwhelming with so many people talking because of my autism and everything. But I will have it open so you guys can attend. And yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you guys did, so I can talk to all of you while I'm playing The Sims 1. Because when you're playing The Sims, when you're playing a game like The Sims, you don't really have to concentrate as much. That's a game that you can just relax and chill and play at the same time, really. So I hope you guys all attend my gaming live stream. So don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. So that's it. Peace out, people.